Hello and welcome to the instructional video for the new Bark Stock Exchange. This video will teach you how to trade stocks to potentially become the richest member in Blastcraft. This video will be split up into 3 sections: the explanation, tips and tricks, and frequently asked questions. This will give you the ropes and help you become a successful stock trader at the new Bark Stock Exchange. The explanation. To start, here are some important terms to know. Stock, an icon that represents part ownership of the company. There are a total of 100 stocks for each company. Cycle, a cycle is the time duration between each stock price change. The stock price will change at the start of a new cycle. Stockbroker, this is the runner of the event who determines the price change for each company. All changes and reasons behind them will be made public. If you have any issues with the event or Redstone, please talk to Caffeine Addict. Now that we got the technical stuff out the way, here's how to trade and become rich. How to buy. Buying a stock is simple. All you have to do is put the amount of diamonds stated on the sign in the barrel. Once you do so, the stock will appear in the shulker box above your head. Just take the stock out and you officially own a share of that company. You can purchase as many stocks as you want and or can afford. How to sell. Selling a stock is even simpler. Just put the stock in the vault's dropper at the end of the main hall and get your diamonds dispensed right at you. Tips and tricks. Buying. Note, it is advised you buy a stock when it is at a cheaper price, or when it has lost value, or before you believe it will go up in value. To tell if a stock has lost value from the last cycle, there will be a texture with a red arrow pointing downwards. You could make a profit from a low value by buying the stock during this cycle and then selling it during a high one. Selling. Note, it is advised you sell your stock when the price is higher than what you originally bought it for. To tell if the price for a stock has increased from the last cycle, there will be a texture with a green arrow pointing upwards. You could make a quick buck and exchange the stock for the updated price, or you could hold on for the possibility of the stock going even higher and giving you an even bigger reward. One thing to note is if you see extended blocks on the outside of a building, that means that the event is temporarily shut down and cannot be accessed. Increasing the stock price. For all you CEOs out there who want their company to be the best and to increase your price, here are some tips and tricks on how to make it go up and make more people buy it. You could create advertisements or make propaganda. You could open up new stores. You could increase the reputation of your own company. You could restock and or add benefits for customers, and or you could notify the stockbroker about sales coming from your shops. These are just a few examples, and you can do whatever you think is best to try and increase your stock value. Rules of the event. You are not allowed to copy a stock. There are a total of 100 stocks for each company, and we keep track of the purchases each session, so we will know if a stock has been duplicated. You are also not allowed to break any blocks. If an accident does happen, please notify the stockbroker. Frequently asked questions. What happens if you want your money back? If you purchased a stock that you no longer want during the same session, talk to the stockbroker Caffeine Addict. What happens if you want to cancel mid-transaction? If you want to cancel mid-transaction, put 1 less diamond in the barrel than what is stated on the sign. The machine will then dispense your diamonds back to you. What happens if you do not receive money from the vault? If you do not receive money from the vault, please talk to the stockbroker to resolve this issue. Do you actually own the company if you have all of the stocks for it? No. In this event, owning a stock does not grant you actual ownership of the company. However, companies can offer actual ownership if they want to. The CEO of a company is allowed to determine if ownership of a stock means part ownership of the company. Talk to the CEO to get that answer. How to win. We determine a stock value from these factors: an objective factor, a statistical factor, and a subjective factor. The objective factor is based on stock sales themselves. If a stock is bought more, the price will increase. If it is sold more, the price will decrease. The statistical factor is based on randomness. The stock market can be random sometimes due to factors outside of our control. The entity controls this. Do not displease them. they are growing. And lastly, the subjective factor. This is based on your company's reception within the Blastcraft world and its players. It is determined by how the CEO acts and participates in the event, trying to make their stock price increase. Look back to the tips and tricks to see some ways to increase your stock price. The way to win this event is by having your company have the highest value for the longest duration. Having the highest value means your stock is worth the most. When a company's stock is worth the most, that company is the most valuable. A CEO is allowed to offer incentives for players to buy their stock, such as discounts and or part ownership, etc. Please refer to the tips and tricks above. And that concludes our instructional video on how to become a stock trader here at the new Bark Stock Exchange. So get ready, get your diamonds, and go start trading.